uwager.lv, sportsbook, and casino. Sign up today at uwager.lv, the premier online sportsbook, taking wagers since 1998. The most player-friendly lines, weekly juice specials, and a true dime line in MLB. Unique casino platforms with thousands of games. Play poker, high stakes, low stakes, or tournament play. uwager.lv, what we offer. Free same-day payouts. Customer service and wagering support, 24/7, year-round. Free monthly rebates on your action and daily casino rebates. Contests, free bets, best bonuses, and giveaways. Generous referral program. Get an 80% free play bonus on your first deposit, up to $1,000. Sign up today, and use promo code SPORTSWEB. Remember, you can't win if you don't play.
Are you an athlete or professional struggling with life or career transition? Life isn't always easy, but hope is always present. Best Hope Counseling will help you move forward. For nearly a decade, licensed marriage and family therapist Larry Baumgartner has helped clients empower change and discover solutions using a solution-focused therapy approach. Conversations will focus on what you desire to change, not just the problems that brought you into counseling. From anger to depression or other emotions, Best Hope Counseling is there for you. Contact Larry personally on his direct line at 727-946-1346. Again, 727-946-1346 for a telehealth appointment in Florida and Minnesota, or in person an appointment in Minnesota. Take time out and begin your game plan to reconnect, rebuild, and restore happiness in your life. BestHopeCounseling.com. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, your post-game edition after your USF Bulls beat the Navy Midshipmen today 44-30 to get their third win of the season. Yeah! Sorry it was a little bit late, but we were on the presser there. We got some great sound for you. How do we start off this show as we always do here on a Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday? It doesn't matter. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. So how do you feel, Bulls fans? Open phone lines if you want to get on. Talk about it. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 as this team snaps a 19-game road losing streak, conference losing streak. True story. In fact, the last time they had a road win was in 2019 over ECU, Eastern Carolina University, if you don't know, 45-20. So, and then also the 3 wins, that's more than they've had the last 3 years. So Coach Golish, Byron Brown, the birthday boy himself, birthday yesterday, turning 19. They have this team going in the right direction. Tell you what, let's go ahead and go out to my co-host here. Here we go. From a Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions, Amped Up Sports, he was on the Zoom call talking to all the interesting parties there Leo Haggerty. Welcome to the Evolution after the USF Bulls pull off a big victory on the road there in Annapolis, 44-30. Give me your thoughts. Welcome to the Evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Well, you know what, Peter? Let's be honest. If this happened to this team last year, that they got down 14-0 that quick, the tent would have been folded. They'd have been headed for the plane heading home to Tampa. I give Coach Golish a lot of credit. We see that he's going to live by this sword and die by this sword on these fourth and shorts. He doesn't care where it is. He's going for it. He's going to try to keep the ball. His defense played, I wouldn't say they played lights out, but they played effectively. The scoop and score was huge. But again, the fact that they gave up 20 points on short fields, very short fields. Navy didn't drive the football on them, which was a good sign. They hit one, explosive play, that pass play at the end.
Yeah.
But other than that, a field goal here and a touchdown here, but nothing long.
Yeah, no big
long drives.
No big plays today. 9 yards passing before halftime there. Of course, they ran for over 200 because that's their offense. But I think the key thing, and I asked Tramel Logan about this, and of course, Coach Golis was happy about this. The defense was able to get off the field. 3 for 14 on third down for Navy. That is huge for that unit, especially, being ranked at the bottom last year in all of college football. That effort has continued to carry over from the Alabama game, from the Rice game, right?
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? You want to stop Navy because they relish third downs. They want to go 1st and 10, 2nd and 6, 3rd and 3. That's the Navy offense. 3 yards and a cloud of dust. And that's
I'll tell you what. Save that thought because we're going to go out to the phone line, see who this is. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on a post-game show. USF beats Navy 44-30. You're on with yours truly, along with the legend himself, Leo Haggerty. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Pete, it's James Mulvaney.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? Talking college football here with USF. Did you watch the game, or are you trying to talk about something else? Because we're not talking about that right now.
Oh, no. Well, okay, I didn't know that. I'm actually watching Notre Dame right now. I was just wondering if you guys were watching the game or not.
No,
it's 10-0 Notre Dame. Yeah.
Notre Dame, and I got to ask you really quick, and then we'll get back to USF. What did you think of that loss last week to Ohio State, and then we got to run?
To be honest with you, I was devastated.
Yeah.
I wanted to jump off the building.
All right, my friend, hang in there. We'll talk some more college football with you in a little bit, but appreciate the call. All right, good stuff. Yes, guys, right now we are live here on I Love St. Pete. Bulls Life, which is a new site here, so definitely tune in if you're a Bulls fan. We'll talk some college football later on, but I want to get back to this game because the Bulls get down 14-0, and you're like, on the road, 19-game losing streak. But once again, Golish's crew shows their resiliency, especially getting back in the game. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that was huge. They get down 14-0 quickly, but get back in the game right away and make it 14-14. In fact, they go up 21-14.
Yeah, 21 unanswered points, 10 plays, 67 yards in the second quarter there. Key play to Sean Atkins, who earlier on in the game fumbled the punt return where USF is able to get off the field. They're going to give their offense the opportunity. He fumbles the ball, and you're exactly right, 21 unanswered points later on to tie the game, 88 yards, 2 plays, 88 yards. The 88-yard touchdown to Atkins. And we talked to him just a little bit, but what did you see on that play? And then we'll go out to Sean Atkins talking about that play.
Yeah, they got the corner turned around, which was a great move. He went outside, inside, and the corner just fell down. He got turned around and fell down, and all Sean had to do was catch the ball and run the rest. A great call. And you know what? I asked Sean that, we didn't see that bombs away stuff. And I asked Byron the same thing. We saw a lot of short stuff today. Is that what the Navy gave them? And he said, yeah, the Navy was giving us that 6, 7, 8 yards, because they didn't want to get burned deep, and they only got burned deep once, but once was enough.
I'll tell you what, let's go out to wide receiver Sean Atkins. We'll get out to the coach in just a little bit here. This is why we were so late, guys, here on the Sports Web, setting up the question here. Leo the Great, and of course yours truly. Here we go.
Oh, thank you, Peter. Appreciate that. Sean, when you came up to the line of scrimmage on that 88-yard touchdown pass and run, did you see the coverage and you figure, hey, this is going to be me deep?
Absolutely not. Whenever I get a deep ball, it's kind of, once in a lifetime, but I'm just kidding. It was actually a check play, and, you just go out there and execute your job, having faith in the quarterback to find you.
Yeah, I don't want you to give away any trade secrets, but when you get to the line of scrimmage, is, Byron kind of give you a nod or something? They kind of say, hey, I see what you see?
Not really. You just go out there and execute. He reads the defense, and big plays are meant to happen in this offense, and I'm just glad I was be able to execute that one.
Hey, enjoy the win.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Another one.
I don't know.
When did you first play with this program? What season was it?
2019.
So you were part of a road win?
Yeah, I think
East Carolina or something.
East Carolina. Oh no, I didn't. The only one UConn.
East Carolina was the last one, by the way, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's nice to do it again. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What about just that sensation? In all sports, they say nothing's more fun than running on the road and flying home, partying with your boys, and then you put it behind you.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go experience it. It's been a long time. More happy for the guys that stuck with the program, with me from my class. It's really special for sure.
We good online, Andrew? Go ahead.
We've got one last question on Zoom from Peter.
What's going on, Sean? I asked Byram if he was developing more chemistry with you. Do you feel like you guys are developing this chemistry over the last 3 weeks, especially in this game? And for you, are you getting more comfortable in this high-tempo new offense?
Yeah, I think me and Byram are definitely, building some chemistry. I think that he's learning to trust all of our room. And I like to just joke around with him because there's a song that's 17, 30, you know what I'm saying? But, and then, what was the second question? I'm sorry.
I feel like you're getting more comfortable in this high-tempo offense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think myself and all the guys are buying in, finally getting our legs under us and being able to execute it at a high level for sure. Trusting our eyes as well. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm out of touch with pop culture. Could you run me through that again?
Oh, it's by Fetty Wap. I don't remember the song name, but it's like 1738. Yeah, I don't know.
1738.
Yeah, it says that. It's cool. You know the song?
I know it too. I just
Yeah.
to sing that.
Yeah. Everybody knows. I know Michael Kelly knows it. I know Michael Kelly knows it.
All right, so welcome back to the evolution of Sports Talk Television.
Always have fun after a win, Peter. Always have fun.
And I'm telling you right now, and I love the fact, and again, I asked the question, are you guys developing chemistry? And it certainly seems like the last couple of weeks, and this started in the second half of the Rice game, because we talked about it. They definitely struggled. It was rough versus the Alabama Crimson Tide. But ever since that second half happened against Rice and that big-time win, it certainly seems like Brown is developing not only chemistry with Naeem Simmons last week. Today, it was Sean Atkins, and also it was Al-Shafri Brown. Go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's you're starting to see, 8 different people caught the football today.
Yeah.
So they're spreading it around. It's not, as I asked Coach Golish, this isn't a one-trick pony. He said, no, it's not. There's a lot of moving pieces to the offense. And I don't know if you noticed, Peter, but Donovan Jennings wasn't playing today. So I guess he was a little bit either under the weather or hurt, so they're playing with a different offensive tackle. So that was a big piece missing, and they still managed to win the football game.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct about that. And I go back to the defense. Defense making a big-time play because Navy ties it up there at 20, and it looks like they're trying to tie it up at 20 to go for the extra point. And then Jalen Schuler missed bad snap there, takes it back for the 2-point conversion. I'll tell you what, let's go out to the phone lines. Let's go out to Mr. Travis Faley of Rocket Sports and Entertainment. You're on with yours truly, along with the legend himself, Leo Haggerty, after USF and a big-time win on the road versus the Navy midshipmen to go to 3-2. Your thoughts, my friend?
You know, Pete, it seems like the USF Bulls are now going to become must-watch TV on a regular basis just to watch that defense play at times, because they are ferocious.
Yep.
And, you know, they're entertaining to watch. And, you know, what do you want out of your team? You want progress. I've been saying it for, you know, as a Bears fan, as a diehard Bears fan, all we wanted this year was progress from Fields. You don't want regression. And that's what we wanted with this Bulls team. And, you know, I saw a stat earlier that I probably saw in the past, but I didn't realize it, that he came over here with the #1 offense in Tennessee.
Yeah.
With probably Hendon Hooker, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Absolutely correct.
So
and I think that's the
he's-
reason why you hire him in the first place, because of that quarterback development with Hooker.
Yeah, you know, and you're starting to see it with Brown. I mean, yes, he's going to make some bonehead plays and he's going to be off here and there. But what I saw in the second half today was development. I mean, throwing the ball where the wide receiver can only catch it. Some of the play calling in the third and fourth quarter was completely suspect with the 2 and 3 score lead. I didn't understand a couple things, but you know, we're going to give Golish a little bit of a break. I do think he should have kicked the field goal to go up 3 scores, but that's just me. You know, it's a different philosophy at times these days with points, etc., and going for it on 4th down, and you know, some head shakers, that's for sure. We see it in the NFL on a regular basis these days with, you know, guys like Mike McDaniel, et cetera, et cetera. But Leo, what did you think about the team today?
I'll tell you what, I haven't seen a defense hit like USF did today in a long time. You know, we got to go back to Willie Talbot's days when they were hitting with that ferociousness. Again, Navy's backs run violently. In fact, Coach Orlando said that to us when we were on the Zoom Wednesday, that he's never seen backs that run as violently as Navy does. And again, South Florida, man, if you were to faint of heart, this was not a game to watch, because there was people getting smacked on both sides of the football.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of hard hitting going on. And look, you know, Travis, coming into this game, that Navy, with 2 quarterbacks, usually when you have that, you don't have a quarterback. So they had difficulty all day long passing the ball. In fact, missing open wide receivers on that first drive, because you could have hit a wide receiver for 60 yards and basically you're down at that point. But, you know, give credit to where credit is due. USF's defense is able to get off the field. They're also able to eliminate those big plays until later on. But you know, the majority of the game able to eliminate them. Tough running test there. They give up 200 yards, but again, they're able to get off the field, which is so important. And you're going back to one of the big plays of the game, you know, Atkins for 88 yard there, touchdown. They're up 21-14. Navy is looking to tie the game up. Failed snap. Jalen Schuler scoops it up, goes in for 2. And instead of being a tie game at that point at 21, it's 23-20. I mean, those are the type of plays, all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. And they came up big today. Atkins had a fumble, which gave Navy, you know, second life there after USF's defense is able to get off the field. But in this case, it definitely works in USF's favor when it comes to special teams. 2 points, which is key going into halftime.
You are on fire right now, by the way.
Thank you.
You're doing a hell of a job, both you and Leo.
Thank you.
Outstanding, guys. Outstanding. But, you know, they're once again, they're turning into must-watch TV, especially as a Bulls fan and someone who's been covering this team for, 12, 13 years now. It's, you know, we've seen the highs, we've seen the unbelievable lows, and just to have some positivity around this football team, especially after back-to-back pretty good games for Byron Brown in this offense, guys. And, you know, fans like offense, so let's get more of them out there in the coming weeks to support this club. And hey, you know, sky's the limit. Let's just take it one game at a time, the old cliche. And, you know, you never know what can happen, guys.
Yeah, and I think, 19 years old, you had a birthday yesterday, and we're gonna get that sound that we had after the game here. But, you know, 26 or 34, 338, 3 touchdowns. He does have the fumble there Nearly throws an interception, which gets Navy back into the game. But besides that, a pretty flawless game. And I tell you right now, guys, when he's been given time, and look, that's one of the Achilles heels for this USF team, that offensive line, giving up a lot of sacks. He didn't run as much today, and it certainly seemed like Navy wasn't going to allow him to run. But when he got the time in the pocket, he definitely made you pay.
Oh, absolutely. And again, Peter, I have preached this from day one. Leo's number one axiom: if you give a quarterback time to throw it where he wants to, when he wants to, and to whom he wants to, you're going to get beat. Because these guys aren't chopped liver. They're pretty good. I'll tell you what, though, Peter, just to digress a little bit.
Yeah.
Georgia's in trouble. Man, oh, man. They struggle with Auburn because they just don't have a quarterback right now. Alabama, same thing.
Yeah.
No quarterback. USC. I mean, Williams throws for 6.
Yep.
And you're going to see maybe the best thrower of the football tonight when Washington plays at Arizona. Michael Penix from Tampa.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, he can spin it, and he can spin it at a distance.
I feel like, guys, we're on with Travis Haley of Rocket Sports and Entertainment. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with the legend himself, Leo Haggerty, former Coach Scout and now media member of Night Sports Productions.
Hey, Peter, let me ask Travis a question real quick.
Go for it.
Travis, is it too early to start thinking bowl game for USF?
Yeah, let's take it one game at a time here. But yeah, why not? Why not? If this defense keeps playing like it did or like it does, why not, Leo? Even if it's a low-level bowl game, it's a bowl game. It's something, once again, positive to build on. But, if Golish runs his offense like he did late in that game, he almost got Brown killed a couple times. And he had Brown throw into double coverage on the sideline, which could have been picked. So there's things that they have to continue to work on. But, right now I'm happy about the team and where they stand. And once again, positive going forward with this USF Bulls football team.
It really is. And, all the people out there that want to say, look, they should have hired Deion Sanders. By the way, USF Bulls fans, they have the same amount of wins. And I get it. Deion is going to have some impact with the Colorado Buffaloes there. But, right now, Coach Golish looks good. People said Jim Leavitt. I think that defense is getting there. They one game at a time, like you said. But it's exciting right now because you snap that 19-game losing streak conference record there because you lost 19 straight games. You haven't won a game since 2019 versus Eastern Carolina. So that's huge. And you said it the last couple of years here with Coach Scott, you have 3 wins already, and you're 2-0 in the conference. Again, progression. It's what it's all about for this USF Bulls team. Travis, thanks a lot for your time. Anything else here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television?
Hey, just get to the website, Rocket Sports and Entertainment. We got Bulls coverage. We got some Bears coverage. We got Bears Bucks coverage. We got all sorts of stuff up on Rocket Sports and Entertainment. Obviously, we do cover all the major shows. It's a bummer that Aerosmith is not going to be dropping out until probably 2024, if ever. I've never heard of somebody breaking their larynx. When Steven Tyler broke his larynx and cannot perform until at least 2024. I've never heard that before.
Wow.
Leo, you've been on this planet for about 175 years. Have you ever heard of somebody breaking their larynx before?
Yeah, Jerry Cooney, when he got hit by, I think he got hit by Ken Norton. That's how you break your larynx. Somebody hits you right in the throat. So,
Yeah, I wonder if Joe Perry punched Steven Tyler in the throat and broke his larynx.
Either that or is a spinning elbow. One or the other.
Good stuff. All right, Travis Haley, appreciate the call as always, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Great job.
Good stuff, man.
Take care, Travis.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead. Open phone lines if you want to call up. Talk about your USF Bulls. Big time win today. 44-30 to move to 3-2. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go ahead. Go out to our comments. Cornell says, "What's up, Peter Blake? What's going on, buddy?"
Oh, yeah.
Go Bulls. Let's go out to Ed. What's up, Peter? Are we going to talk about the Bucks at all today?
No.
We're going to focus on USF.
We're not.
We're going to have to wait until tomorrow morning for the over-under at 10
Absolutely.
a.m. Man, what a game for a guy who's known for his offense. I'm really excited for the work thus defense is doing. I tell you what, let's read this comment, and then we'll go out to Coach Golish. As you had some great questions, I had some great questions here on the Evolution. Coach Scott, looks like Ron Zook light, good recruiter, but crappy coach. Agree with that?
You know what? I'm not going to throw Coach Scott under the bus simply because he was trying to take a team that was just in the middle of COVID and they weren't at ground zero. They were at ground -5. It was a terrible year. Then they come off of that, and Notre Dame gives them COVID when they go up there, and now we're at it again. So yeah, he was a big dog, and you could see that. It just they couldn't find enough bodies on defense to play, and nobody wanted to come to USF back then. So now it's becoming a destination.
It is definitely becoming a destination. Let's go out to Coach Golish after the game here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. What did you ask him to go ahead and give the Bulls fans out there a preview?
Yeah, just did he decide to make Byron a non-runner, or was it something Navy did that took it away?
Yeah, minus 27 yards of rushing today. Who would have thought that? Because coming into the game, averaging 88 yards per game, and that is what makes him so scary. And I tell you right now, again, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. He looks like a younger version of Cam Newton. Just putting it out there. Let's go out to Coach Golish here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, your post-game edition for USF. Here we go.
I think both. We had a couple of designed runs. You saw the option on one. I thought they were going to make him pull it a couple more times than they did. So I would say kind of a conscious decision, because I thought that they were just going to appear and happen based on what they were doing. They didn't as much, but they forced us to hand the ball, so we did, and by game plan, I don't know that it was the right thing to do to pour him up in there.
Coach, on offense, you have 7 different guys catch the football. You have 5 different guys rush the football. This offense isn't a one-trick pony, is it?
No.
And that was a question to Leo. You said it's a one-trick pony, so good question by Leo Haggerty right there. I think mine's next. And of course, the question is, he got emotional at the end of the game because the Bulls snapped a 19-game road losing streak in conference.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes seeing my wife makes me emotional because it's been a long journey. We've been through a lot of it, so I don't know why it does it to me, but probably because she's I say Byram is one of the tougher people I know. She's probably the toughest person I know. Just keep picking up and dragging our kids all over the place, and she don't complain, and she doesn't say anything other than, I'm just proud of you. And it's been a lot, and we're not done. This certainly ain't the pinnacle, but it's been a lot. For 9 months, we've put a lot into it. And I say we, that's us as a staff. That's certainly our young people in the program, but it's our families who we don't see a whole lot and haven't since July. They sacrificed a lot for us to have that feeling here tonight. So that's why I get emotional, because there's a lot of people that have put a lot into it, and I'm so proud of them and so proud of our kids. I'm just so proud of them being able to enjoy a moment that they've worked for. And it doesn't guarantee anything. It doesn't guarantee anything later. It doesn't guarantee anything tomorrow. But they've worked as hard as we've asked them to work, and they're not perfect. They screw things up all the time. I screw things up all the time, but they just keep working, and that's why I think a little bit emotional, because there's there's so much outside of here that they go through, that they deal with, that we deal with as coaches, as people that work here, and there's just been this resilient push to be elite in everything we do every day, and when the end result is a win, it's pretty darn cool. So that's why.
A couple more personnel decisions. Kelly Jordan, 5 carries. I think that's the most he's had all season. It seemed like you kind of shift him back to the running back room. Has him being a running back now kind of confirmed that, hey, we've got the guys in the wide receiver room to kind of handle the job?
Yeah, Kelly's been a guy we've been trying to get on the field and let him settle in.
What you're watching right now is Coach Bowles at the end of the game after USF wins 44-30.
I think you asked about Kelly. I couldn't quite hear, but unselfish. And like you talk about him getting emotional, like there's a dude that every conversation we've had about, hey, we're going to put you here, it's yes, sir. What can I do to help the team? Like that's an unselfish dude. And that's hard in this day and age, but I think he's going to continue to be multiple for us. He returns kicks for us. We've got to do a really good job of trying to put the ball in his hands because he's got to settle in and be able to be him, which is a really dynamic guy with the ball in his hands. He's a tough kid, really smart. I'm really proud of him.
And last one for me, and I'll let you go. I'm sure there's plenty of other questions. Andrew Mata'afa kind of steps in for DJ Gordon. How do you assess his play, and what's the status for DJ going forward?
Yeah, Andrew's been waiting on his opportunity. You know, he's played on a bunch of special teams for us, has played just a little bit on defense. But he came here to have an opportunity like he did today, and he came here and he's been unselfish and willing to do whatever he can to help us. DJ was dealing with some personal stuff. He's healthy. He was available today. He just missed some time during the week with practice, with the personal family matter, which was really tough for him. But I wanted him to be here with us because he's earned the right to be here. He'll be available moving forward and as he deals with some family stuff.
Hey, Peter. Your question. What's going on, Coach? Congratulations on the win again on the road, snapping that 19-game losing streak. Let's talk about your quarterback here, 26 for 34, 338, 3 touchdowns. I mean, talk about his progression over the last couple of weeks. It certainly seems like the offense.
Progression question here by yours truly.
Yeah, I really think Byram's just continuing to get better every single week. He's continuing to understand where bodies are going to be. He's continuing to play faster. He's continuing to be able to be accurate with the football. This offense, as fast as it moves, you've got to prepare like crazy. And his process has been really, really special. His process has allowed him to continue to get better. He's so coachable. Like, I don't know, man. He's mature beyond his years, and he's so coachable and tough and smart and gritty. And, like, he's got everybody's respect. Kid just turned 19 yesterday. He's played in, 7 college football games. Just he continues to impress me, continues to impress his teammates. He's awesome. I couldn't be more proud of him continuing to get better every week. And he'll come in tomorrow and he'll talk about the 8 incompletions and the sacks and where he could have grown, and he'll fix them, and he'll come back next week ready to roll.
Coach, how important was it for your defense to get off the field today?
3 for 14, yep.
Absolutely huge. We talked about discipline defensively, being in the right spot at the right time, and being perfect with our eyes. You see what happens when your eyes ain't perfect. There's a guy running scot-free down the middle of the field. Like, for the most part, we were there. We're going to beat ourselves up over the ones we weren't. But getting off the field on 3rd down, absolutely huge. Causing a turnover that resulted in a touchdown, like monumentally huge. And stopping the run for the most part, beyond impressed with how those guys, especially with a couple of guys out that have played a ton of football for us this year. Next play, next man up. Like, I'm so proud of the resiliency of that group. I think Todd's done an incredible job coaching that group. The coaches, KP and Matt and James and
all right, so good stuff there. We're live here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. I love St. Pete Bulls live. And, of course, got Amped Up Sports on my channel here. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about along with Leo Haggerty. Post-game edition after your USF Bulls moved to 3-2, defeating Navy 44-30. I mean, I thought it was important not only to ask Coach Golish about his progression with Byron Brown, because he's only 19 years old, and you kind of forget that. But you look at the numbers, and again, did it seem like to you that either A, Navy was taking away that run because, again, coming into it, averaging 88 yards rushing, which is top, by the way, in college football, or did it seem like they had a game plan where, let's see if this kid can throw from the pocket. Even though Navy had 4 sacks in this game, when he got the time, once again, he made this Navy defense pay.
Yeah, I don't think his running was going to be a big part of this football game. Again, you got running backs for a reason. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah.
And again, when you look at what USF is trying to do, they're playing, as Coach says, uber fast.
Yeah.
They're trying to run the football to set up the run, which they did effectively. They didn't, establish it, but it was effective because Navy just couldn't come and say, okay, we're going to rush the passer because, watch out. We got some guys who can run the football.
Correct.
So when you look at what's going on right now, you got a really young quarterback that's starting to grow. He's getting comfortable with his wide receivers right now. And that offensive line is growing up and getting some stability.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And they took the lead later on in the fourth quarter. To me, the main thing is that last drive. It seemed like it took forever, but that's a drive where, look, we want to be physical. Coach talked about it in the offseason, how we want to be a physical at the point of attack team. They showed Navy in that last drive. That's what they're going to be. They're going to pound the ball. They may be a little bit boring out there, but I don't know how you can be bored with this offense, especially when, again, Brown gets the time to throw from the pocket. Kid's got all the potential in the world. Big arm. Wasn't as accurate as he was last week versus Rice. I think that was more pressure because Navy did have 4 sacks in the game. What did you see from that offense, especially that last drive there where they basically just pounded down the throat of the midshipmen?
Yeah, the bottom line is you can see Navy's defense was tired. It was spent. So it spent a lot of time on the field.
Yeah.
And again, what USF was doing is what we call closing out the game.
Sure.
Let's go in, let's run the football, let's close it out, which is what they did.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely close it out there. They take a lead 30-23, 8 plays, 67 yards there in the second half. Again, they have the 79-yard fumble recovery by USF's Tremel Logan. In fact, I'll tell you what, great segue. Let's go out to Mr. Logan. What was your question for him in the press conference?
Yeah, it's you couldn't have got an easier scoop and score unless somebody handed you the ball. It looked like they were playing rock, paper, scissors to see who would get it. Was the only thing running through your mind the fact that don't fall down?
Absolutely. Good stuff there. Let's go out to Tremel Logan, of course, who had the 72-yard fumble recovery to basically put the game away. Here we go.
We're moving. Yeah, just getting on right. Yeah, scooping scores are never easy, but the only way that could have been easier is if they'd have handed you the ball. It looked like you're playing rock, paper, scissors. You would pick it up.
Yeah.
When you were there, was the only thing going through your mind once you pick it up, please don't fall down?
Yeah, like when I picked it up, I'm like, I knew I wasn't going to fall. I'm like, man, I'm taking this. The only thing I was worrying about is who was going to pursue. So it was like when I noticed it wasn't nobody, I'm like, yeah, this is a smooth, easy scoop and score. It don't get much easier than that.
Peter, I asked him here what was his responsibility on that play.
You did.
It's a 4th and short. Do you have the edge?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Yeah, it was we was in our base package, and I was the outside linebacker, and yes, my responsibility was the edge, and they kind of came out in a funky formation to run a sneak, so I was a little bit tighter, trying to get the D-line bumped, and then when it happened, like I was in the right position where I was supposed to be, so it was like finish the play.
Thank you. Enjoy the win.
Appreciate it.
Peter?
Yeah, you talk about your defense, of course, being a defensive player. How important was it for your defense today to get off the field? You're pulling Navy on third down, the 3 and 14, and how much pride do you guys as a unit take in there?
Yeah, we take a lot of pride in it because like that's kind of been like our goal throughout each week is stop the run. Like that was kind of something we was weak at last year, so it was like, for us to get off the field on third down with this team, especially like the type of offense they run, like we had to get our offense back the ball.
All right, so there you go. I mean, taking pride in that, and he talked about it, how they took pride in getting off the field. And as I mentioned to Coach Golish, look, this defense last year was one of the worst in college football, and the effort is so much better. And even though you look at the statistics, because I'm a stats guy, but stats don't tell the whole story. Because when you're holding a team 3 to 14 on third down and you're able to put your offense back there and rest your defense, that's huge. And you heard from Logan how much pride and how that's a goal going forward, how it was a goal in the offseason. Your thoughts, Leo?
Oh, absolutely. And again, if your defense is on the field, there's a good chance the offense can score for the other team. But you get off the field, now you get to rest. Now you get to see what's going on. And you know what? If you look at USF, the 3 games they won, they scored 38, 42, and 44 points.
Yeah.
They got UAB, and the catch is, Peter, they're 3-2. They got UAB, Florida Atlantic, and UConn. They could, excuse me.
Yeah.
They could be bowl eligible before November 11th.
Yeah, I mean, again, the effort is there. It seems like, they're buying into the process. They're buying into this program. It is a young program. It is a young quarterback. You go back to it, it certainly looks like Navy could get back in the game with the fumble by the tight end there, by Wolf. And then, 3 negative plays by that defense. And then they go for a field goal and they miss it. And at that point, and it's also caused by a sack. And that is on that defense, because when your defense is not only able to get off the field, but they're causing negative plays, the momentum of the offense goes nowhere. And then you at least think you're going to get 3 points if you're Navy, and you get absolutely nothing, and you have to like it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Anytime you have a short field and you can get off the field with no points scored, oh, hello, that's a winner. That's a definite winner.
It's definitely a winner. In the last 5 possessions, field goal, punt, fumble, punt, and a missed field goal. I would say that's not bad defense. Then, again, to close it out, 9 plays, 74 yards. Dukes with the touchdown, 11-yard touchdown at that juncture. And, again, maybe the statistics don't show, because I believe they rushed for a total of 75 yards on 34 carries. But you look at it, I always go back to this. 26 for 34 for Browning, 39 times for 75. That's balance to your offense. You can talk about all the passing numbers you want to, but, with that attitude of you want to be a smash mouth football team, you want to be physical at the point of attack, you've got to run the ball whether you're successful or not. And it seemed like that was the game plan. And, of course, when you have that type of game plan, Leo, it makes those manageable third downs that much better. Instead of 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 13, you get into those situations where it's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2, much more manageable, right?
Oh, absolutely. Again, you want to stay ahead of the chains. And it's a simple matter of math. You got to get at least 3 yards.
Yeah.
Because that gives you a 4th and 1. Or if you get 4 yards of carry, you get new set of downs. So, yes, stay in front of the sticks.
Yeah.
That's an important point. And, again, when you look at USF, they want to run the football. You may not think that.
Right.
But they want to run the football. And you know what, Peter? The schedule is setting up really nice for them.
Yep.
They got to go to UAB. Then they get Florida Atlantic at home. Then they have to go to Connecticut. Then they get a bye week, which is nice because then they got the 4 games in November: Memphis, Temple, Texas, San Antonio on a Friday night, and Charlotte. And the only game that's a Friday night is Charlotte. 11 of their 12 games are Saturday. Now, it's important, it's imperative that they win at UAB because that will set them up 4-2, 3-0 in the conference, coming in Florida Atlantic homecoming. This is another must win for this program to get that culture turned around.
And even the coach in the press conference mentioned it doesn't mean anything with our win today. I mean, it means something because you snapped the 19-game losing streak on the road against conference opponents, but it doesn't mean anything if you lose again to UAB. And of course, Trent Dilfer, it looks like he's frustrated right now with yelling at his coaching staff. Google it, kids. You have to see that. And of course, Trent Dilfer, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer quarterback on the road there, certainly a winnable game. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, the effort cannot be questioned. No matter if you want to talk about talent or whatever else, this effort of this coaching staff, getting these players ready to go, coaching up. I go back to it last week. Jalen Stokes still getting coached up with the result. You already know the result. The USF's going to win the game, but still, Coach Golish coaching up Jalen Stokes showed today the guy played his ass off. That's the reason why. That's the reason why you have to get excited about this coaching staff. If you want to talk about USF after their big win over Navy, 44-30, open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. A post-game edition of the Sports Web. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, with the over-under at 10 o'clock with Harry the Greek, which, by the way, I don't like to throw my co-host under the bus, but he thought Navy was going to win this game handily. There's some explanation there, Harry the Greek, tomorrow with the over-under at 10 o'clock in the morning.
That was my number 1 pick, Peter, USF, and I told you before the game.
You did tell me that was your number 1 pick, and then, of course, in that show tomorrow, we'll get you ready for Bucks and Saints, and then, of course, tune in to the post-game edition, Bucks fans, and we'll see what the Bucks can do versus the Saints. Give me some final thoughts here on this USF big-time win. In fact, I'll tell you what, hold that thought because I want to go out to the quarterback, Byron Brown. You had some great questions. I had some great questions. Go ahead and set it up here for Bulls fans on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. What did you ask Byron Brown, the birthday?
Yeah, we asked him, he wasn't a big part of the run game. Was that something that Navy did? And, 8 different receivers.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That is huge. All right, here we go. Byron Brown here after beating Navy 44-30. 19th birthday yesterday, and what better way to celebrate than with a big-time win over Navy? Here we go.
Not at all. We got playmakers all over the field. Running back, tight ends, wide receivers, you name it. So good luck trying to stop one.
Yeah, and this week it didn't look like bombs away. He took a lot of comeback routes, a lot of short routes. Is that what Navy was giving you?
Yeah, taking what the defense gives us, and we executed on that part. And we had some explosive plays, or in some short plays that turned into explosive plays. So just taking what defense gives you is what Coach Gordon and Coach Golish preached throughout the week, and went out there and executed.
Thanks. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Peter Blake.
Yeah, Byron, by the way, happy birthday. Belated birthday there.
Thank you.
Great stats, absolutely. Do you seem like you're getting more comfortable in this offense the last couple of weeks? It seemed to take off in that second half versus Rice. Can you expound on that a little bit?
Yes, sir. I feel like I'm getting more comfortable. I feel like I'm seeing everything that I need to see, and throughout the week in practice and into the games, I'm seeing all the keys that I need to see. And the guys out there, they're just going out there and making plays for me. I mean, I'm not really doing much. I'm just getting them the ball. So just having them out there in the line blocking and protecting, running backs blocking and protecting tight ends as well, and then ultimately catching the ball. I mean, we're rolling right now. Yes, sir. We're developing that chemistry in practice, and we're just executing all around, and no one.
All right, so executing all around there. I don't know why that cut off, but whatever. Thanks a lot to Byron Brown there for answering the questions. I mean, what did you learn from this kid? Because, again, he's a kid. He's 19 years old, and some of the things he's done on the field this year have been tremendous. 7 starts as a college football quarterback. Pretty amazing, right?
Yeah. He's really a true freshman, playing, his first true season of college football. He didn't show up until the last 2 or 3 games last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been big. It's been huge. And Peter, I don't know if you saw this, but Central Florida was up 35-7 and lost 36-35.
Wow, no defense in that game, of course. So early on today, USC was up 34-7. Shedeur Sanders had a furious comeback with Colorado making that game close. USC still went on to win 48-41. Talk about that game just a little bit. Once again, we talked about it. The defense, not very good right now. They don't have the athletes. And, of course, the loss of Travis Hunter definitely hurts you, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That guy played 120 plays against TCU. So, yeah, you got 2 people you got to replace there. So, and again, Peter, my final thoughts is that when you look at the NCAA right now, the SEC is not the strongest conference in America.
No.
They're third at best. They're behind the Pac-12 when you consider all the Pac-12, the ACC. Then you're looking at the SEC and the Big Ten pretty much neck and neck. So, yeah, they're the third best conference. You may not like it, SEC fans, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, you talked about it earlier. Georgia having their own problems surviving Auburn 27-20 with their quarterback conundrum there. We'll see how that works out because it seems like every game this year Georgia has played, it has been a close affair where they've had to come back later on. Florida today just got their doors blown off. And it just comes down to this, right? I mean, when a guy has 206 yards at halftime, this will be Ray Davis. Florida just had no answer offensively, defensively, or special teams, right?
Yeah, they didn't have an answer. They didn't even have the question. So it was not good. It was not good show for the Gators. And again, Kentucky may be the best team in the SEC right now. It's their line is mammoth. They are like road graders coming at you, and they got a little bit of a running back there in Davis who's kind of high. Reminds me a lot of Sproles, or Boston Scott. Both played with the Eagles. They are small. They get behind that offensive line. You can't see them until, hey, bang, they're by you. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know you want to get off because I want to watch this college football game between Notre Dame and Duke. What's the latest on that? And then we'll get you out of here on that.
Yeah, I still hold on, Peter.
Yeah. As we'll go ahead and just take him off of there, we'll get that update. We'll bring him back, and then we'll end this show as USF picks up their 3rd win of the season. You heard me right. 3rd win of the season over Navy, 44-30. Let me go back out to Leo. What's the score on that?
Still 10-0 Notre Dame.
Tell you what, Caleb Williams, going back to that USC game, he looks like the truth. I mean, he really does. I think he missed about 9 or 10 passes today. Total 6 touchdowns, 1 interceptions. Not to take it away from Shedeur Sanders because he definitely came back in that second half. But once again, Caleb Williams looks like he's on his way possibly to another Heisman Trophy winning season, if not for Michael Penix, right?
Exactly. And my final thoughts, hey, folks, stay up till 10 o'clock tonight and watch Michael Penix against Arizona. And then you tell me if there's another better quarterback than him. You know what? And Washington State, Ward, he's not chopped liver either. There's a bunch of really good quarterbacks in the Pac-12. Peter, on that note, good luck, Bucks, tomorrow, and we'll talk to you then.
We'll talk to you then. There you go, the legend himself, Mr. Leo Haggerty, former Coach Scout and now media member of 9 Sports Productions and Amped Up Sports. We'll wrap it up there. Final thoughts, USF gets it done. 3rd win of the season, snapping a 19-game losing streak against the conference. hats off to this USF defense, hats off to this USF offense, and of course, hats off to the coaching staff, especially Mr. Coach Alex Golish. Guys, we will try to do this every time USF wins or loses. We'll have a post-game edition of the Sports Web. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Like I Love St. Pete, Bulls Life, and of course, all the great platforms that we're on, Amped Up Sports. Facebook stars are out there. YouTube chats are out there. So give to the calls, and we'll see you tomorrow as we get you ready for Bucks versus the Saints. 3 things here on this Saturday night victory. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, it's your time. We'll see you tomorrow on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Have a good night.